I'm from EnGenius Technologies. I handle the West Coast here for EnGenius. And this morning we're going to be going over some of our products and solutions. We have some exciting stuff going on, switches, managed APs, as well as our wireless access points. And we're also going to talk about our Empower Dealer program, which is available to the dealers out there. So I'm not sure how many of you folks might be interested in that. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to turn it over to Brad Poloni. He's one of our senior engineers here at EnGenius, and he's going to go over the products. And if there's any questions, I guess at the end, Crystal will correct me if I'm wrong, but it's open to questions, or you can email them over or whatever. So thanks a lot, you guys, and thanks for your time this morning.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm going to, Crystal, do I have control, or have you handed that over?
You should have control.
Okay. So welcome to the webinar. My name is Brad Poloni, as mentioned by Darren. We're going to go through this, and any questions, there can be Q&A questions and answers at the end. So again, thanks for joining.
Crystal, it's not working.
All right, let's see. You should have. Okay, let's try it again. Try it now. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Oh, oops. Oh.
How does your screen look?
Okay, good.
Okay, so EnGenius Technology, we've been around since about 1999. One of our strong areas is long range. We've now introducing a controller-based model, so no more standalone access points. What's nice about our controller-based model, not only does it have a controller within the switch itself, but it's got both functionalities, the controller again, and also the switch. Kind of what we're going to cover today. We're going to, again, discuss a little bit about the EnGenius itself. We're going to go over our neutron solution, which is the switch and controller-based model, the electron solution, which is our line of gigabit switches. We're going to cover a little, briefly touch on our success story with the Rose Bowl. As Darren mentioned, he's going to go through the dealer program. And then again, as mentioned, we're going to have the questions and answer at the end. And again, closing things, and I'm not sure if we have giveaways, but
yeah, we'll try to have a giveaway as well. Exactly. We'll have a giveaway, Crystal.
okay, so everybody's going to pay attention for that giveaway, okay? Let me move this out of the way here. So again, as mentioned, been around, EnGenius been around since 1999. Strong player in the Wi-Fi, especially in the outdoor arena. And again, we're launching the new product line of switches and controllers. Okay, so here's a line of our neutron switches. As I mentioned, right from this area, you can not only control the ports on the switch itself, just like your regular switch, but you can also configure your SSIDs and all the Wi-Fi type components. Within the neutron system, we have AP discovery, so the unit will automatically go out and discover the access points. Wired and wireless network management and reporting. They are also PoE capable and PoE plus. As mentioned, some of the features list on the Discover, AP clustering. We'll go over that a little more in detail, but AP clustering allows you to cluster a group of APs. So for instance, if you're on a floor and you have an area that with accounting, you can then cluster the access points associated with that area and map that to a VLAN for segmentation. So it's very flexible. Again, multiple VLANs are configurable within the Neutron system. Bulk firmware upgrades. So for instance, we can do all the access points, or you can actually have a cluster be upgraded at a specific time. So it's really flexible that way. So here's a couple of switches themselves. Again, they're PoE Plus, and they're layer 2 capable. The EWS 7928, 24-port switch with 4 SFP ports. It is available now. And the 5912 FP stands for full power, and that's also available now. That's our 8-port gigabit switch with the wireless management embedded. Now this is going to be due, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, this is coming in June. So in June we'll have a 48-port switch. Basically, this will support up to 50 access points. And again, all the functionality, wireless management, and the switch all built in one unit. There. Now, just kind of a comparison. So the 8 ports, the 24 ports, and what's capable. So the 48 port, again, the most robust switch that we're going to have. Compared to the 8 ports and the 24 ports units. If you notice, the 8 port will support up to 20 access points. The 7928 and the 7952 both support up to 50.
Another difference in those switches is also obviously the port density, but also the PoE budget. So that's one other differentiator.
Great.
Between the three.
Thanks, Gerald. Yeah, as always, we got to watch the PoE budget and make sure that we don't breach that. But again, that's where your engineers come into play with certain configurations. Some of the features for the switch and the switch management itself, it's got the port mirroring, so you can span a port, put an analyzer on there to identify what kind of problem we're having. It supports MLD snooping, which is for IP version 6 multicast, be able to control that. IGMP snooping, once again, IP version 4 multicast control. And again, typically just pretty much anything in a layer 2 switch that supports. And here's some of the APs that are with the Neutron system themselves. The outdoor, the 620s, these will be available next month, I believe, gentlemen. Am I correct there? And the indoor units that are currently available now. Again, some common features associated with as I mentioned, with the auto AP discovery. Now, these also can be standalone units. They can work as standalone without the controller. They can work without the controller themselves. An autonomous mode, but also with the controller.
So yeah, they have both. They can be managed both with the switches, and yes, they do have the standalone capability in case you do need that.
One of the features is to mention is a fast handover that allows roaming capabilities. So we don't have sticky clients. Sometimes clients want to hang on to a specific access point, and then when they roam, they'll still want to be attached to that. It's typically called a sticky client problem. This allows the access points to identify the RSSI value, identifies that if it's better for it to be at a different AP, and to move it to the appropriate AP for the best performance. Band steering is another feature. So what is band steering? Sometimes the 2.4 spectrum can get fairly congested. Band steering allows the system to be able to identify if a client has 5 gigahertz radio. If it does, then it will automatically move that client onto the 5 gigahertz spectrum, freeing up the 2.4 congestion and providing better performance for the client with the 5 gigahertz radios. Just a picture of the EWS indoor series. Comes with the mounting holes in the back, an Ethernet port, but you can also localize the power. So you can have a transformer plugged in if you want to put the power local to the access point itself. Most people just use the PoE and the switch, but you have that flexibility if you want to localize the power at the unit itself.
Those mounting holes are actually not just for direct mounting, but these come with brackets so that you can mount them to the T-rails on the drop ceiling. So there's two sizes of those that come with the device as well.
So easily you can mount it to the grid up on the drop ceiling. Okay, thank you. Here's the kind of open view of it. It comes so with this sectorized 3D antenna, this helps provide a wider range of signal propagation, but also lowers the interference. So some new technology that we put into these antennas.
So these sectorized antennas are only available on the EWS 320 and EWS 360. It's not available on the EWS 310.
Okay, very good. Okay, some key selling points. As we mentioned before, auto AP discovery and provisioning. So you plug your access point in, it automatically checks into the controller, it pops up and you're able to manage it. We'll probably go through a little demo and we could show some of this functionality. Being able to manage both the wired side and the wireless side. And the wireless network management, again, the AP clustering, the band steering, traffic shaping, we didn't talk too much on, but that's to be able to do some bandwidth control. The fast tender we discussed, guest network, popular in hotels, sometimes at actually hospitals also, being able to segment the traffic with the guest network, and wireless security. I think there's the capability to encrypt the traffic between the controller and also the access point. And then mesh, mesh will be out. I'm not sure on date on the mesh. We have a date when mesh will be available, guys? Q4? Q4 this year. We'll have a mesh network.
And that will be a simple firmware update. So your user can purchase the hardware now, and if they do need that mesh capability in the future, that will just be a simple firmware update on the hardware.
Great point. So no hardware addition to the system will be required. It's just going to be software that'll be loaded. There'll be a new firmware upgrade. Very good. And here's the mesh that's going to be available soon. Typically used in an outdoor environment, we have multiple paths to be able to bridge the network together. Pretty much straightforward. Kind of a multi-floor scenario. You know, typically the signal propagation of our APs are so good that you don't necessarily need to have one on every floor. You can stagger when it comes to multi-floors. This helps with co-channel interference, so you have two access points in the same channel. I definitely need to do a channel plan, but it helps when you can have one access point be able to propagate through multiple floors. Another building campus scenario. Switches can be daisy chained off each other and managed through the system. And then multiple devices hanging off. For instance, you can have cameras plugged directly into the switch. You can have multiple different types of devices, access points. System's very flexible. It's kind of a visual of a stadium, arena, areas that require coverage, high density, and capacity requirements would be like a stadium type of environment. High school or universities also need to be flexible. The different devices associated with high schools, smart screens, and all the different type of devices that kids will bring on board. Typically, when you think about schools, what do kids have? They have laptops. They'll have a handheld device. So they'll typically come on board with multiple devices, not just a laptop in the past. There's going to be multiple different type of devices, and you need to be able to have the network infrastructure to be able to support these devices. So schools and high schools and universities and things like that can be a challenge, as can the stadium or any place with high capacity requirements.
And if you have time, yes, please check out our website. We have a couple microsites available that provide a lot more detail, where you can take a look at more deployment scenarios.
So yeah, that link, EnGeniusTech.com/solutions. That will take you to this, what you're seeing up right now. That's probably the very first scenario. And then we'll have, beside the stadium, it'll show a campus environment, large home, hotel, and other things.
So this comes real handy when you have deployments you have to do. It gives you a place to reference the different type of deployments that you may come across. So we're going to move from the Neutron series, which is a controller and switch model built in one component, in one device, to the Electron series, which we're just basically our gigabit switch line.
And standalone access points.
And standalone APs. As always, we're going to watch the power budgets on these, but there's a power monitor there. And basically, the Electron series, again, gigabit switches and access points. You can mix and match the different type of switches together and be able to daisy chain them, all managed from the EWS or the Neutron system. So you can manage an electron switch from the EWS controller.
Well, correction that you can't manage the EGS switches or other switches, but you can manage the access points to the EWS.
Okay, thank you for the correction. So basically, here's the kind of a breakdown of what we have. Again, 8-port switch, 24-port switch, and the 48-port switch is coming in June. Yeah. Dual band APs, both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. And there is also a small application called Easy Controller that can use it. Now, guys, that Easy Controller, that's a free software?
Yeah, it's free to download. It's SNMP based.
Yeah.
So
Available for Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Okay, very good. But so some management software for that. And here's our line of layer 2 switches. So again, 8-port, 24-port, and 48 ports. The 5212 FP, FP stands for full power. It's got 2 SFP interfaces, small form factor pluggable optics. Again, 8-port switch, good for small little installations. It's the same thing. The 7228P is a 24-port gigabit switch. Supports up to 12 PoE devices, correct? I'll make sure I'm politically correct here. Is it 12? Okay.
I think it's 0.4, but it's not full.
It's not full power, so we got to watch how many devices. This is when the engineers come into play, and we look at the power budget on this, and we'll scale each one appropriately.
Yeah, so all 24 ports can provide PoE power. It's just the power budget that won't support AT on all
24.
All 24 ports simultaneously.
Right. Okay, and if you notice the power supply on this has got 185 PoE budget, and that's what I'm talking about when it comes to engineering these appropriately. Does the link aggregation, again, supports all the spanning tree protocols. Okay, now this is the 24 port that has full power, and will be able to support 24 devices, all with PoE. This is also being available in June, which should be here very soon. 7228 FP. 370 watts of PoE budget. Again, all the different type of switch
And if
capabilities.
your customer is worried about going over the PoE budget, when they're logged into the switch as you plug in more devices and they consume more power, the switches will tell you how much power is being consumed. So that will tell you. So they don't really have somebody who can calculate, or they don't know what each device, how much power each device is consuming. The switch will actually tell you if you log into the interface.
Yeah, the PoE budget monitor really helps out. So once that device is plugged in, it identifies how much power is being pulled. And again, 48 port, which will be available in June. Again, typically all the typical things that a layer 2 switch will do. It does have radius authentication, 2.1x, so you don't have to have a pre-share key coming from the controller. You can link it to a radius server. This is kind of a breakdown of the devices themselves and the switches. I'll leave it on so you guys can take a little look. You can see what's available now, what's available in June. Some building scenarios, typically the buildings will be linked by fiber, and this is just another scenario of how the switches can be deployed, utilizing the SFP interfaces on the switches. Now, this might be a little tough to see, but just kind of a breakdown of matrix. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is matrix versus ubiquity, or products versus ubiquity.
Yeah, this is a slide. We kind of position ourselves a lot of ways versus ubiquity. So this kind of gives you an idea of EnGenius versus ubiquity. Where we stand in terms of retail price, features. We match up pretty well across the board. So I thought I'd just put this slide in, so people can take a look at it as well.
Okay, let's just touch a little bit on the indoor access points you have available. Again, hotels, as we all know, are an area where you will find a lot of Wi-Fi itself, and our product fits there very nicely. Very aesthetically pleasing. Typically in these hotels, aesthetics is everything. So we came up with a dome type AP. Here's basically the line of APs that we have available.
Yeah, a differentiating factor for EnGenius, just so you know, what makes us different, what makes us better in the competition, how do we position ourselves. Our big claim to fame is if you talk to people in the marketplaces, we're high power. So that translates to long range, better penetration. So just to kind of give you like a benchmark, the FCC maximum power wattage that a unit can transmit is 1,000 milliwatt or gigawatt. Most of our units are in the gigawatt.
No.
That's from Back to the Future.
1,000 milliwatt. 1,000 milliwatts. 1 watt. 1 watt. Yeah, 1 watt. I'm sorry. I apologize. 1 watt. Most of our units are in the 800 milliwatt range. So by getting the higher power, we're able to get the further penetration, further coverage.
Okay. Okay, take a little gander at our wireless outdoor access points. And
I think the point that Darren was trying to make is our access points go up to 800 milliwatts. Your typical off-the-shelf access point from the big box stores usually are about 50 to 70 milliwatts. So 50 to 70 milliwatts versus 800 milliwatts. It's going to give you a big difference. Sorry.
That's okay. Here's some of our outdoor APs. If you notice, some are IP67 rated, 68 rated. Basically, one could, the 67 means it can get wet. It can stand up to water. The other 68 means it can be completely submerged. So, again, the different APs for different environments. The 900 EXT is available now, and the 1750 EXT will be available in July, as mentioned in this letter. Again, the 900 EXT, ruggedized outdoor access point, will be available in June. Some of the key features, I just have a 3-stream radio for higher performance. The 3 5 dBi 2.4 omnidirectional antennas can be extended so they can be detachable, and an LMR cable can be put on to extend the masts, you can call them, or the antennas out to different areas if they want to raise them up and to make it for further reach. Comes with a kit. The kit actually has its own PoE injector, so you don't have to worry about purchasing in addition to PoE. It comes with a proprietary PoE injector for the unit itself, and it comes all in one kit.
This is not ENH 900 EXT. This is our latest and greatest outdoor access point. Like Brad already hit on, it has a 3-stream radio, which means you get up to 450 megabits per second end speeds, not just 300. It is IP68 rated, so it can pretty much be dropped in a bucket of water and still work. And one new feature that we haven't had in our previous outdoor access points is PoE pass-through on the second LAN port. So we will provide power to an 802.3 AF device while connected to using its PoE injector. Yeah, such as an IP camera, or maybe some other device that I can't think of right now.
Okay, thank you about that. So, yeah, just to clarify, yes, so coming into it was with the PoE injector coming off of that as additional port on this 900H, I'm sorry, ENH 900 EXT to power a PoE device, but it won't be a PoE plus, just a PoE device. So, very flexible, as mentioned. A good scenario to be outdoors and be able to place a camera, hang a camera off it. Perfect example for it. And hence the drawing. So again, PoE plus in from the power injector and AF power coming out for the camera. Band steering, as we mentioned before, band steering helps to eliminate congestion on the 2.4 gigahertz band. Anytime that we can push clients to the 5 gigahertz band is exactly what you want to do. Interference is one of the biggest problems out there, and this is one way to eliminate that problem or mitigate that problem. Just another little visual of band steering. There's 2.4 band sitting there. It gets slowed from congestion. And once activated, again, congestion is minimized. So one of the strengths of EnGenius is its 5 gigahertz backhaul capabilities and being able to shoot these Wi-Fi signals for miles. As always, engineering needs to be taking place when we do these outdoor deployments. So that's what we're here for, to help you guys deploy this properly, selecting the correct channels, making sure you're not using off channels when it comes to the 2.4 band. You want to make sure you use 1.6.11 for your client services. Again, it's always good to get our engineers involved when it comes to these outdoor deployments. We'll talk about cross-selling and upselling.
Yeah, this is just, another feature of EnGenius is that we, as you can tell, we kind of have the whole package. We have the managed solution, we have standalone APs, we have bridges, we have switches. A lot of this stuff is, as you can see, it's transitioning in. So, we have some ETAs of product shipping in June, July. But within the next 2 months, we feel we're going to have a full lineup to be able to accommodate pretty much any customer's needs for most levels. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're talking about if they need APs, we have the switch. If they need switches, we have APs. If they need managed, we have that solution as well.
Okay, so one of our deployments was the Rose Bowl. Gerald, do you want to talk to this since I think you were part of this?
Yeah, this is just one of our,
Hold on a second. It's actually,
Yeah, it's getting came across half.
can you go back one slide? All right, now go.
not sure if you can see.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry about that. But one of our use case studies that we like to tell people about is the Rose Bowl deployment. They're also one of our biggest evangelist stories because they were having problems with Wi-Fi in the Rose Bowl. Basically, their Wi-Fi system, when people were coming in, didn't work. It really started with one of the photographers, Richard Maxson. He's a professional photographer who shot for Sports Illustrated and shoots for USA Today. He's all, I need a solution so that I can roam around the whole football field, stay connected, and send my pictures to an FTP server in the back. I was like, well, I can give you coverage, but I can't promise you how well it's going to work. But let's see what we can do. So we did put bridges at different ends of the field, but what we ended up really needing was just one bridge at one of the end zones and on his hip. He's wearing in a fanny pack one of our ENS, our smaller ENS bridges. And he's able to, with a Nikon D4, which has an Ethernet port built into it, for every down, he'll shoot maybe 30 frames, and then after the play is over, he'll hit the transfer button, and it'll upload all his pics to that FTP server in the back. And here's an actual picture, an actual shot of what he did is he attached a battery pack to our device, and it's worked out for him really well. And after he did that, well, he doesn't work alone. He's got his other photographer buddies, and they all started wanting to do this. The Rose Bowl heard about this because he needs to have their permission, of course, to set up our wireless devices. They were like, wait a minute, could we do this with the concession stands for our point of sales? And sure enough, yes, the answer was yes. And so now the Rose Bowl has APs and bridges pointing out around the outer area for the concessions in order for them to have their point of sales without running cabling, because the Rose Bowl is an old stadium. It's called the Granddaddy Bowl for you football fans. And then because of that success, they're like, you know what? The FBI and all our operations upstairs, our access points weren't working. You know, we have, I forget the company's name. It's like they have some bridge logo or something like that. You know, I think it starts with a C. But anyways, their access points were not working during the games. And Richard goes, hey, do you mind if we try your access points up in there and see if it'll work out for them? And sure enough, yes, it did. And so now, EnGenius is going to be all of their operation booth, security, and also they have the suites, the VIP suites, and so pretty much taking over that portion besides the concessions and also also the media usage on the field.
So the press boxes and everybody. So it's a great case study, the Rose Bowl deployment itself. So something to take away would be that we do very well in stadium environments, stadium deployments in the Rose Bowl. As Jerry mentioned, was a wireless nightmare, trying to break some of through the walls, things like that. And we were able to do it and keep the customer happy. Okay, here's your power program.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about, I know there's a little bit different, a couple different audiences here today. So what EnGenius has here, we call it the Empower program. So the product is sold through Microcom. We don't take customers to purchase our product direct. It's through distributors like Microcom. What we have is our EnGenius Empower program, which basically kind of ties you to EnGenius in a direct way in terms of engineering support, sales access, those types of things. So I kind of just want to go over this really quickly, talk about some of the benefits of being an authorized dealer with EnGenius. So you can see, as you can see, there's a couple different levels. We have our authorized dealers and our elite business solution dealers and our DMR retail type dealers. So the two I really want to talk about mainly are the authorized and elite business solutions dealers. As an authorized dealer, you have access to a sales rep. We get you on our website as an authorized dealer, zip code locator, those types of things. What we have is really a next level, as we call it, the elite business solutions dealer. So basically what that means is if you do $3,000 in a quarter through an authorized distributor, you're able to get rebates. So those rebates range in the, from 3% for $3,000 to 4% for $6,000 to $9,999 to 5% $10,000 plus. There's also a number of other things we can do, like we can work with you on joint marketing programs. We can work with you on engineering things, like Brad mentioned. If you say, hey, I have a stadium or I have a hotel, I have 10 floors, what do I need? Send us the diagram. We'll give you a recommendation of products based on the floor plan. It's not a site survey, so to say, but at least it'll give you some sort of guidance of what you need. So this kind of illustrates some of the additional benefits of being an elite business solutions dealer. Like I mentioned, the marketing things, there's back-end rebates, priority repair, there's online training. The training's available for everybody. So just some of the benefits that are available. Here again, just kind of touching upon them again, there's lead generation. We can assist you with that type of stuff. Marketing development funds. So if you come to us and say, hey, I want to do a mailer to my customer base, I need $500 for postage, we can do things like that. I just obviously have to justify it and put together some sort of justification on my end, but it's really pretty simple. We have a dealer portal, elite business solutions dealer logo, dedicated territory manager, which is myself, and we have some support staff here as well. So anything to help assist you in promoting EnGenius products, we have all the resources here. And we're readily available. You can reach us. You can call on the phone. We pick up, tech support, all those types of things. Again, this is just outlines the rebates a little bit, 3,000 to 5,000, 3%, 6,000 to 999, 4%, 10,000 plus at 5%. So this is a really cool program. It doesn't cost anything. There's no investment or anything like that. So even if you say, hey, I want to be an elite business solutions dealer, I think I can do the revenue, but I might not be able to. So let's sign you up as an elite business solutions dealer. If you don't, for some reason, don't do the revenue goal, you're not penalized or anything like that. They just won't allow you to be an elite business solutions dealer for a couple quarters. So in a couple quarters, if you're doing 3,000 or 5,000, which really isn't a ton of access points and switches, we can reinstate you as an elite business solutions dealer and allow you access to those rebates. So the rebates are probably the biggest and most attractive things that customers are looking for. Oops. Yeah, we have dealer, and then we also, with that, we have dealer registration. So if you come to us and say, hey, I'm working on this hotel at the Sheraton in Los Angeles, it kind of locks you in for this particular deal, and we'll give you a discount up to 5%. If it's under $1,000, which most of them really aren't, it's 3%. So those types of things. Again, just being an authorized dealer, an elite business solutions dealer, kind of ties you with us more closely, and we're able to give you those types of resources that you need at the manufacturer level. So just again, to reiterate, everything that you would need from a manufacturer, we're here, available. Like I said, the only thing we really don't do is, in terms of the procuring of the products, would come from Microcom. Leads and all those types of things, marketing, we're very, very hands-on here. We also, for an elite business solutions dealer, again, if you feel that you can do $3,000 a quarter, we have a dedicated tech support line, extended hours, priority repair, discounts on repair. Email is available 7 days a week. We have people manning emails 24/7. We also have, if you need to send an engineer to whatever, Texas, or you have a customer in Boston or something like that, or New York, we have those types of resources available. There is a fee for that. But we do have those people here available at our facility that can go all over the country. And this is really cool. So again, premium service. So this, again, being an elite business solutions dealer, all we ask you make an investment in us. If you make the investment of $3,000 plus a quarter, which really, again, isn't a ton. We have all kinds of other things that we can help you with. We can cross-ship defective replacing, free. To elite business solutions dealers. We can do stuff overnight, those types of things. So this is kind of the basics of how that works. The only thing is, if we're shipping product, they do ask you to secure it with a credit card. But other than that, we can get this stuff out immediately for you, which comes in really handy if you have a customer that's down and you need product tomorrow. We can help you with that. We have dedicated resources specifically for elite business solutions dealers. We call it like the cream of the crop of our dealers. So we really want to make sure that we're giving you a level of service that's up, above and beyond, our typical dealers. Training, certification. So again, because we value elite business solutions dealers so highly here at EnGenius, we want you to be our experts. You're our feet on the street. You're helping us, to promote our products. So by being elite business solutions dealers, we say, hey, can you just take this test? We call it a certification. It's not you can't fail. You can take it as many times as you want. And just by taking this test and passing it, obviously, we'll give you a $25. They change it. It's actually an Amazon. It's actually an Amazon card. So just by taking the test, we'll send you an Amazon card. So that's how much we value this. So this is for sales associate, engineers. Those are the type of people that we want it to be for. So all we do is sign you up as an elite business solutions dealer and take the test. And again, it's going to help you. It's going to help us. And we're making an investment to make it worth it for you. Oops, what am I doing now? Sorry. And again, this is the link to how to be an elite business solutions dealer. EnGenius.com. So if you go to our website, feel free to contact myself. I can help direct you. It's right on our website. It's a one-page. It's nothing too difficult. Just ask for the basic information. We would want to talk to you, make sure that you feel that's something you're, that you really want to do as well. And again, we have emails. This is available. Personally, I make myself available. My name's Darren Kelly. We have my extension, my cell phone. I have inside people here who work with me. So, this is a general type email for questions. But again, just contact myself directly. I'm always available. And we're very, very hands-on here. My experience is that dealers want to be able to get a hold of somebody. They have questions. They want to get somebody on the phone. They don't want to hold. They don't want to leave a message. And, rest assured, I recognize that, and we recognize that, and we're pretty much always available to answer any questions. And with that, we want to thank everybody for their time this morning. Crystal, do you want to take over? Are there any opening up for questions?
All right, let me pull up the questions. Oh, I don't know why they make this box so tiny. Ah, there we go. In regards to the Neutron series, you discussed up to 20 access points and 50 access points. Are these only EnGenius access points, or can you use other APs?
Yeah, this is only for EnGenius access points. The EWS series only manages EnGenius access points, and it has to be the EnGenius series access points. The model name has to start with the EWS. Like if you try to manage the EAP or ECB series, it won't manage it.
All right, sounds good. All right, the next question comes from one of our reseller partners. Do you have map pricing? I've noticed some of your pricing on the internet is lowered and hard to compete.
Yeah, that's a very good question. The answer is yes, we do have map pricing. It's a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you. Dealing with the internet people, Amazons of the world, who, you know, sell the products sometimes at cost, below cost, it can be a challenge. I can tell you that we do work very, very diligently on this. We actually have a service called, I can't remember the answer. We have a service that actually crawls the web. And when we are made aware of map violations, we actually, you know, we do notify these customers immediately. We tell them to, hey.
Oh yeah, and the service really works. It annoys me because it pops up into my inbox as well.
Yeah, it does. It affects everybody. I can tell you for our EWS line, we've actually even tightened the reins even further. So we've basically instructed our distributors, distribution partners like Microcom, to not sell product to the DMR channel. So we've asked them specifically, you know, don't sell it to Amazon, don't sell it to Newegg. It's a solution-based product, so we want it to be our solution-based bars. Now, is it perfect? Right now, it absolutely is not perfect, but I can tell you it's a thing that we address on a daily basis. I personally do not get credit for anything that goes through Amazon in the DMR channel. So when I hear about something, I'm all over the people here because it takes money out of my pocket. So, you know, we are working on that. We do have a map pricing policy to answer your question.
All right, sounds good. And the last question is of the new series that's coming out in June. I'm sorry, I just got another one in regards to the map pricing. What is the map price discount off list?
For the, I'd have to look at it. I don't have it in front of me. On the new series, I believe, I'd have to get back to it. I haven't analyzed it. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you. I'd have to look at that.
Okay.
Look at it.
All right, we can definitely get that email out, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, last question. What is the longest of the new series that's coming out in June? What's the longest range product?
Longest range. The longest range. I'm not sure what you're asking there, but what our access points do, we like to stay conservative, and we normally get 3 times better range than you would from your typical access point. So it's going to vary with the environment and, of course, your application. So, like, you know, are you going to be using handheld devices, scanners? You're not going to be able to improve much range because the transmit on those devices are, you know, pretty weak. You're looking about 10, 15 milliwatts with a zero gain antenna. But if you're talking about something with equal power on the other end as our device, these things can go miles.
Yeah, as Gerald mentioned, a lot of this time is all about the environment, so it's an application. Anytime you run a voice application, you typically want to turn your radios down and add more AP, so it's a higher density AP environment. When you're doing point-to-point, you know, and directional antennas, we want to blast that signal as get as far as we can. So each application is going to have a different type of configuration.
Yeah, and if you are interested in that, I believe you're probably thinking about the ENH 900 EXT. If that is the product, please feel free to send an email to Microcom or to us directly so we can give you more info, help you with your application, tell you if that is the right product for what you're trying to do. If you do need something with lots of range, if you're trying to go point to point for over a mile, that might not be the best suited product. We do have something for that.
All right. Fantastic. Well, that wraps up. Let me just double check, make sure we didn't get any last minute questions in here. Okay, looks like we're good. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, everybody, for coming out and tuning into the webinar. If anybody has any additional questions, in addition to contacting Darren, you can contact us at sales@microcomtech, microcomtec.com. Or if you wish to view any of the products mentioned here, you can visit us at www.microcom.us or contact your salesperson. And this webinar will also be posted on Microcom Technologies YouTube channel. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you all have a good day.
Thank you, guys.